It's now 6:30. I'd like to call this City Council meeting of August the 14th to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Councilperson Cosner,
Here.
Councilman Nestor,
Present.
Councilperson Thomas, Councilman Orchakowski, Mayor Mosher.
Present.
Mayor, we note 3 members present, 2 absent, but no quorum.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Reverend John Kuster to lead us in prayer.
Amen. Would you pray with me? Lord, we're grateful for the good things that you've done for this city and the relative peace and safety that we live in. And we're so thankful for these things. I ask tonight for an outpouring on this particular work night. I pray for wisdom, things that we have never seen, put into the minds of our leaders, concepts, ideas that have never occurred. You have brand new things that nobody has seen. I pray that you would grant this type of wisdom to these good men and women who volunteer for this position. And I pray these new things, you would just keep seeding them into our minds so that all the people here could benefit. Thank you for the love you have for the citizens here. And I pray that these new things would just continue to sprout in the years to come. I'm asking for good things, not just for the people in this room and for our contemporary right now needs, for the roads and the houses and the things that sustain our life here, but I pray that people would look back on this generation, even on this night, and on these leaders, and say, these are the people that called into existence blessings that are truly from God. Let this generation be spoken of like that by people in the future. All these things we just ask for because of your love and your generous care for the people in this city. I ask this now in your name. Amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's see, have the minutes of the previous July 10th and 24th been circulated? Could I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
Motion to approve minutes of the previous session of July 10th and July 24th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes. At this time, I'd like to ask for public comment directed to myself on agenda items only.
Ernest Telegraphus, 29 Rex. Okay, this agenda is like incomprehensible here. You got a motion for August 13th, which passed yesterday, for a meeting that you got down for
What motion are you referencing?
CDBG. It says CBDG.
What item on it?
Page 2, item I.
Discussion of the meeting that was held
Discussion,
yesterday.
not a motion.
Yeah,
Correct,
that's a discussion, and that was a meeting that you did not come to yesterday that we
I
had.
didn't know nothing about it.
You need to read the
Okay.
newspaper.
Yep.
Did you put anything on the website? No.
It's on the
Because
newspaper.
I checked your website, so you don't put no information. That's why nobody comes down. Anyway, then we have, you're making it sound like a done deal. You're applying for a grant to get 2 police office cars.
That's a done deal.
That's a done deal? Then
Yeah.
how comes it ain't written down, done deal?
Because it's a discussion today.
Discussion item today.
Yeah, well, okay, so how could you have a discussion if it ain't done deal?
It's a completed, all we have to do
But
is
it doesn't
finalize
say
it.
it's completed.
Yeah.
Well, it's a discussion.
It's a discussion item, right?
Okay, then you got, K, it says COG from meetings, from the Mon Valley Planning District meetings of local communities over the last few months. So who are these people?
It's the Mid-Mon-Yaak.
Well, who are they? You
It's-
just write down general, statements.
I will get to that when we get to that, but.
Okay, so you're gonna, identify them?
I will identify them.
Okay, then, this, discussion on page 6B with Karen, is this the Nehemiah Group, CDC, what's that about? And if that is the same Nehemiah Group, are they incorporated and are they insured? If they're not, I don't know what you guys are doing, playing with fire. And,
You're running out of pages.
no, I'm not running out of pages, it's your pages. You guys got all kind of, generalization. Now, this LSA grant application, what's that all about?
We'll talk about that too.
And you gonna spell that out?
Yep.
Okay, then,
Means local share account.
sharing with whom?
From the
It happens every year, Attorney,
From the
every year.
casino, Ernie.
Okay, are you the one who brought it up?
I'm just telling you what it is.
Okay. And then, this vacancy of Lord Andrew, who's this Lord guy?
Where are you looking now?
That's for code enforcement.
The Lloyd,
That's our current code enforcement officer.
He's the current?
yeah, Lloyd Aldridge, yes.
I never saw him.
You know, yeah.
Okay, the thing is,
Yo-yo,
huh?
yo-yo, you know.
Oh, that's Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
His name is Lord.
Lloyd.
Oh, okay.
You gotta read.
I'm trying to figure out that a Brit came from England here. I didn't. But anyway, one last thing. You guys don't have city clerks.
Agenda items, Ernie.
Agenda
It
items
is
only.
on here, agenda item.
Okay.
Discussion of the city clerk. You guys are quick to shoot. Anyway, that's the fourth, no, that's the third city clerk under your administration, Ron Moser, that
Not the
they
third.
came and they
That's not
gone.
the third, that's not the third.
Well,
Yes, it is third.
No,
Yes,
it's the
it
second,
is.
it's the second.
Oh, but the blonde from Monongahela you guys got rid of.
That,
She was a treasurer.
she was treasurer, that was not a
And we
city
didn't get rid
clerk.
of her.
We didn't get rid of her either, yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is you guys are going through people here. And somebody's not doing their job, or maybe they're getting frightful of what they see here.
None of the above.
So, I don't know.
I do.
I'm just asking questions. But anyway, I hope, you guys got all your dots and Ts, properly put together, because, come January, there might be a new sheriff here. I'm on the ballot.
Okay.
I know. I'm
Okay.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
okay?
How,
There was a lot more than, the other guy. that-
Mayor.
Let's continue on. I don't believe, well, let's see, I'm gonna just talk for a very short minute about some of the things that have been going on, because it has been 3 weeks since we had our last meeting. And, it's been rather interesting the last 3 weeks. It can be highlighted by a few things that include, the sinkhole that we all are aware of, and, early last week, the Mon Valley Sewage Authority came to the city of Menneson and said that they are moving forward with their tank. Now bear in mind, this is the same EQ tank that we heard about in 2012 that was $500,000. The same tank that in 2021 became $4 million, and they were coming to us and saying it's now $8 million. We have another alternative to that. If we were to go with the $8 million tank, it would mean that we'd have to add $7 to everybody's line usage fee. That is not something that anybody's looking at doing. That is just not a thing. As an alternative to that, even back in 2012, they had a study done about what the difference between an EQ tank would be versus separation of sanitary water versus storm water coming down from the Marion Avenue down Grand Boulevard. At that time, that separation project would have cost $1.2 million, and the tank was only $500,000 at the time. So of course, we said, let's go with the tank. But the economics have changed dramatically when you're talking about an $8 million tank, and we've gotten new estimates from the engineer that it would be about $3.5 million for separation. Now, it turns out that they've already got the $4 million in line usage that they've been collecting from their part of the line usage fee that they get every month. They get $5 or $7. I believe it's $7.
No, I think it's $5.
$5.50, that's right. They get $5.50 of that $27 every month that they've been able to borrow money against and get grant money from. They've got a pool of about $4 million. So what they came to us looking for was another $4 million on top of what they already had. We're saying for that $4 million that they have, we can probably separate the we believe we can separate the storm water from the sewage and actually have something that's superior to an EQ tank in the end. Not only will it be less expensive, but in the case of these microstorms that we have where we come and we just get dumped with a lot of rain all at one time, this water will go straight into the storm system and to the river. So by separation, we have much better control of what goes to that satellite treatment plant, and it works better for far less money. The only hang-up to this is it's all contingent on what we call a corrective action plan that the DEP has put onto the city of Menneson. We have to have that corrective action plan changed to allow us to do the separation. The solicitor, myself, and the engineer have been working with DEP, and we are scheduled a meeting on the 21st, I believe it is, to make our case. And I think that we've got a pretty strong case, but then again, they're the DEP, so I can't make any promises, but I do believe that it'll work. Time will tell. We have no other choice. The DEP has mandated that we solve this problem. If it doesn't work, we're stuck with. I would say continue on. Yeah, I'm going to continue on. One of the things that we all are very serious about here is figuring out ways to do something with our roads, and roads are really something that's pretty serious problem within the city of Menneson. We've got to come up with ways to do that. We don't have a lot of money to do road repair, but from time to time we get CDBG grants, we get some money in our streets department, we get some money to do roads. One of the things that RVE did here a while back is they came to all the communities that they work with, which Menneson's only one of which of several, and they actually had a dinner over in Charleroi at Spears. But they had a presentation by a company out of Germany, Germany, that had this program that you put on a car and you drive around. You use your cell phone and it takes video of the roads, and it basically captures all the information it sees, everything from stop signs to potholes to street markings to parking problems to whatever, and it can mark things. But it's not a cheap thing. But all I'm really saying is we got to come up with a way that we can judge our roads and determine what the quality of a road is. There are some roads in this town that are extremely bad. As an example, Delaware, Schoonmaker to Indiana, Hoover, Crest from Helen to Hoover's bad, Evergreen's bad. Those are some just absolutely very bad roads. There's a couple of roads that have never been paved. As an example, Crest Extension, there's a couple houses that are off of Crest that have no pavement whatsoever. That is kind of an interesting problem. So there is an issue for that. I will donate to the city. So condition of the road is something that we've got to figure out a way to grade it. And I'm not saying I know how to do that, but I would like to ask our city engineer has I believe it's Adam has a done a lot of study in traffic engineering, and I'd like to get him involved in coming up with some way to rate our roads. But the next thing would be, how much traffic does a road get? That's gotta be an important factor that goes into this equation. One of the things that I have left over from days at Crystalline is some cameras that I will donate to the city that will do traffic counting. And, we can set those up beside the road and we can count the number of cars that go through there and get some good traffic numbers. The third thing that would be important about it is, how do we pay for such a road? Some roads are easily paid for, other roads are not easily paid for, but that has to go into the equation. And last but not least, what needs to go in the equation is, what does it do to the community? In other words, you put in a nice road, it should have some economic value to the community. Either it raises property value in the area, it provides transportation for businesses, but there is an economic side to roads. And I think that if we started objectively rating our roads based upon those 4 criteria things, we might be able to come up with a way to judge our roads where we need to concentrate on first. And that's all I really wanted to say about that. We did get our new Xerox printers in today, or yesterday, I guess it was. They seem to be working well. I don't know that there's any problem with them at all. I won't go into that. One of the things that the competition that Xerox offered was free OCR capability, so you could scan a document and take it directly to Word. Turns out Xerox can do the same thing, but they want to charge you $228 for a license to do that. I want them to give that to us. And I'm trying to get them to give that to us. I don't know if I'll be successful, but I'm trying. Everybody knows the city clerk is given us her notice. It's not because of anything other than the fact that she's got a grandchild that's gonna be born that's in Butler. She wants to spend more time up there and do something up there. She's got a job that's in the middle and it seems to suit her well. She can work from her house a couple days a week. It's just a thing. It's a family reason why she left, not because she was not happy here. She wants to be very much involved with what's going on in the city. All I can say is she's been an excellent city clerk. I have absolutely nothing against her. I've threatened to report that she's doing an alcohol or something, get something bad on her thing so she doesn't get another job, but I couldn't do that either. So anyway, she's a wonderful person. The Mid-Montauk Valley is something that Karen and I have been spending a lot of time with. The Mid-Montauk Valley is one of 8 districts that were defined in the county of Westmoreland. And really the basis behind this is Westmoreland County, the commissioners looked at the county and said, you know what? The state of Pennsylvania is decreasing in population. The whole state is. Westmoreland County is decreasing faster than the rest of the state. Various districts within the county are even decreasing faster. What their concept is to break it up into small little districts where you can work with local other communities in your area. Monessen is part of the same one that's got Smithton in it. It's got West Newton. It's got Sudlersville, Ross-Raver, and us. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
That's the only ones that are active.
South Huntington?
No,
Or is it north?
they're mostly in a different county.
Oh, I saw on the map that it was sent out. I swear South Huntington was on there, but okay.
Well, anyway, that's the district that we had and that we're participating in. The COG is nothing that is, COGs are normally things like the sewage authority, like the refuge authority and things like that. Those are COGs that are well developed and done a long time ago. They're very complicated to put together. They take a lot of paperwork. That's not what we're really saying. All they're wanting to do is to have an open dialogue between us and the other people in our district to talk about common problems that we all have and how we might cooperate together in order to address some of those problems. As an example, code enforcement or something like that might be something we could talk about. There's nothing There's no strings attached with this this agreement. It's just one that opens the doors to allow us to communicate with other communities in the district in order to explore opportunities, and that's the only thing behind that. We did have a meeting yesterday, and we talked a little bit about some of the CDBG things, and we will do this again. Don't worry, those people that didn't get it here yesterday can still have a voice in it. But as an example, there's lots of things that we really are challenged with. We got things with the fire department. Fire station number 1 has the fire hose. I'm not going to go into all this because it does need to be done in a public hearing with CDBG. But there are a lot of opportunities for CDBG money that will help the city in some big ways. We also have a $75,000 LSA grant. That's local share account for your information. That is done by the casinos. The casinos, by law, take a portion of their profits and they set it up for the communities in the area. You can use that for lots of things, but you have to define it. It's typically used for things like the fire departments and police departments and so forth. The point being is we have an LSA that's for economic development that we got last year. We applied for it last year. We got it this year. It's approved this year. But what it is to improve the economic conditions of the city. And we also are part of the STAMP program right now with Dennis Martinek. And it's my strong suggestion that council seriously consider using the same person to manage that LSA grant as is doing the STAMP program, because they're so closely related and intertwined that it just makes a lot of sense. We've got this these houses that are part of Westmoreland Community Action, and there's been talk about these modular homes. They look like mobile homes. They've done lots of things, but the fact of the matter is they're there. Nobody's yet to buy any of those houses. That's a problem. That's a problem in many different ways. That is stifling us in other avenues as well, including a PPP program, partner. What does PP stand for? The partnership program, Jonah Pro.
The neighborhood.
Oh, the neighborhood partnership program, and that's a program whereby businesses who have a $50,000 liability to the state for taxes can use that money, invest it in the local community, and get tax credits for it at about 95%, which means they can invest money into a community like Menneson to develop something that even benefits their business potentially. But the problem is you have to have somebody such as Westmoreland Community Action to run the program, and they've run the program for other places such as New Kensington, have been very successful. It's all intertwined. I think I've pretty much covered the things I want to talk about. Oh, a couple of other things. September the 13th is the church wants to do another parade like they did last year. And this is something that will be on the agenda because council's got to endorse this so that we can get a parade permit through all it celebrating is religion. That's all it is. It's a church celebration. That's such as it is. One thing that's kind of interesting to me is this is a billboard that Dr. Mott sent to me. It says the new modern Menneson, where innovation meets tradition, Menneson School District. They're actively working at trying to promote the school district, and they've got several different programs that you're going to start hearing more about. The thing it may be too late, but you know what? The point being is, if we don't survive, the school doesn't survive. School doesn't survive, we don't survive. We gotta work together. And this is just something that they're saying they're trying to do. I think that we ought to do something similar to that that promotes the city. We have the same goal in the bottom line. If we improve the city, it'll help the school. If they improve the school, it'll help the city. So we're all in this together. That's the reason why we got this economic development grant. I think that does it for me. Let's continue on.
Can I just interject? I think it's the 21st, the day before the teachers start back there having open houses. Did you see that? And that might be something I'm gonna go. There's one at the high school, I think it's the 21st, and one at the elementary center to show off the new,
That'd be very good.
yeah.
Very good.
Yep, so,
I think from 5:30 to 8,
yeah, they're different,
different
Schools. One-
segments, yeah.
yeah.
We've had one meeting with the Mon Valley EMS. I really gave a challenge to them to improve their services and so forth within the city of Menneson and get them up to a 90% level. And to that end, I appointed 5 people to advisory board. Our chief is one of them. The fire chief is another. We have the representation from our Mike Single, our emergency coordinator, and you're on this as well. The point being is that we need to continue with this, and we need to get another one. Were you at the last meeting?
Excuse me, Mayor. Yes.
Can you give us
Yeah,
a
sorry,
little
my
synopsis of that?
So, we sat down, both Chief Uhas, Chief Heppel, myself, 2 members of their board. Fortunately, EMS Chief Heppel was not there at the time. We went over information. We definitely gave out our grievances. If I'm right, Chief Uhas, we gave out, situations that we feel that need to be it's very impacting to the city that need to be changed and fixed, and it's hindering. For example, yes, they might have an 81% rate of showing up there, but with one person being the one showing up, what's that really doing to our city? And how's that helping our community? We gave out some situations where, they're relying more on our fire department and our municipal police department to do some of the actions than really what they're offering. So we gave out some grievances. Chief Heppel, the fire chief, did not mince words. He gave out his grievances as well. We plan to sit down, all of us, when Mike Single gets back from vacation, and maybe have another meeting, and just put him on a program to see what's going to be changing in the next month and a half or so before we start looking at other avenues.
Okay.
I don't know if Chief Uhas, if you had anything you want to add to that?
Oh, in reference to the Mon Valley EMS?
Yeah, in our meeting.
No, I think you pretty much, it was just like a sit down, this is boom, 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 what we need to see.
Well, the improvements that we want.
Yeah, and then, ultimately everyone has the same goal in the end.
Yeah, and then, I would suggest too, Mayor, if our next meeting, if we can kidnap, Mike and have him come to our meeting too, 'cause it's nice to have someone that's there at the city building that's here all the time, be part of that, so he knows, it's someone who knows the ins and outs of what's going on with
Single.
No, Mike Korposh,
Oh,
our
okay.
city administrator. It'd be nice maybe if Mike, if he's available, to kinda be there to be, give us it, because we had questions, about some things that happen here at the city building that I didn't have answers to.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
No problem. In fact, I think I probably want to be at the next one as well. Okay. The next thing on the list is a discussion about Dennis Martinek. We've got his contract. He's been approved for CDBG, or for stamp program, excuse me. Does anybody have anything they want to comment about that as far as moving forward with that?
No, Mayor.
Okay, that'll be on the agenda though. The chief has asked for that civil service testing be within we scheduled some civil service testing, so that'll be on the agenda as well, unless somebody has some serious, I can't imagine that. There was a discussion about the animal control. Did you ever hear any more back from,
Oh, I'm sorry, actually, I do have one question about, agenda E.
okay,
This would be for a part-time or full-time?
full-time?
For full-time, I potentially could be losing an officer by shortly. Another place is gonna be hiring. I have, actually officers and other people interested actually in coming to work here. So, I'm just waiting for your blessing before I can advertise a performance test.
I wasn't sure if it was gonna be like a part-time officer
No, it's for
rotation.
full-time. Part-time, the part-time we do have, they're there.
Okay.
You know, there's not the pool of officers out there where we had one time that a plethora of part-time
Yeah.
to depend on. The officers are not there anywhere in the state or anywhere in this area.
Okay,
Sorry about that, Mayor.
no problem. That's what we're here for, is to discuss this stuff. Back to animal control, do you have anything you would like to add to that? Does Officer Schrader have any comments?
She was, I should have seen one of her at night, I should have asked her, but she was off the last 2 days on vacation days, so I didn't really wanna bother her with that, but there hasn't been any movement to my knowledge, other than recommendations of, and if I say it, I'm lying to you, because I know they have someone in mind to potentially, seek if they will be interested in either.
You do still associate it as a problem, what we have right now, though?
Yeah, what we have now is a problem.
Okay.
It's, you know, there's maybe 2 animal control other ones that we could possibly look at.
Well, if they can get that information to us early enough, we can get it on the agenda for our next meeting, I do believe.
I seen like Jeanette just hired an animal control officer over there, and I forget the name of the company.
I don't know. You know, the one we have now, there's some issues. So we're depending on, state agencies and outside agencies to assist us in our problems.
Okay. Gee, let me try to explain this a little bit. Mike can correct me or kick me if I say something wrong. But we had worked pretty hard with some of our senators and congressmen before to apply for a state LSA grant. We didn't get much the first year, nothing the first year, and they were really gonna make it up to us, and they were gonna do some good things for us. The goal was that they were doing basically $500,000. It was police cars, it was fire trucks, it was all kinds of things that were being done, street department equipment. And to that, we added to that the asphalt zipper, which took it up to about $750,000, which is a little bit higher than what they really said.
Yeah.
So what they're coming down to, and everybody that's watching the news right now knows that the state is still arguing about the budget, so there's still lots of things up in the air. But what they're really suggesting to us now, if we pull the 2 police cars out of that and drop it by $150,000, we might be able to get it all. And we can do this $150,000 through a different program that they have within the senator's wherewithal. So is that pretty much the way it is?
Absolutely, and I apologize to everyone for last time, mangling this, saying 50,000, and I confused, Councilmember Chakowski, and I think the entire panel, and I apologize.
Thank you, Mike.
It's a guaranteed $150,000 stipend for 2 police cars, and the mayor described it exactly. If you're going over sometimes the allotted amounts in the LSA grant, they do this to ensure that those cars are given, but we could also go and may get 4, so.
Yes.
So is this 150 per purchase?
No,
Oh,
it's
it's a
150 for
split,
2
okay,
cars.
okay,
for
alright.
2 cars.
For 2
And
cars.
we allocated 142 and change, I believe, Chief, in the LSA grant.
Yeah.
So this gives us a little extra for
Yeah, we could tweak it a
tweak
little
it,
bit.
yes.
You know, there's some equipment that we could probably add on to it that's not on there, but that's a basic.
So this includes all the bells and whistles that
Yes.
you
Yeah.
require?
Yeah.
And arms, everything, it's
That-
fully loaded police car.
So I apologize, as I
No,
said, that
thank you.
confused everybody with the 50. That wouldn't have been enough to do.
A lot of this is just playing the game the way that they ask us to play the game.
Yeah, no, I get it.
To get everything that we want, and hopefully we'll get everything that we want. But along comes this next one, which is the upcoming LSA, which closes September the 1st. Is open right now for submission. And I think what kind of money are you talking about now for this? It's only $20,000 or $30,000.
He indicated, and we're gonna talk again tomorrow, in the 35 to 40,000, hopefully.
Okay.
So, in that range.
These are
County, local, LSA.
yeah, and I'm asking council to think about this, but we have some serious problems with the fire departments. As an example, fire department number 1 or number 2 has the hose tower separating from the building. That's a major problem. We've got the floor being fixed right now. We found the problem with the plumbing, and we've got that all addressed. So we've got all those problems solved, but we still have some other issues that are not, I mean, there's a long list that Karen provided to us. Those are kinds of things LSA is good for. Also, LSA would be good for things like the doors at the fire station number 1 that are so opaque that you can't
Yeah.
see through them.
My question, Mayor, and I apologize for jumping ahead, but there was an email that was sent out that gave us some options that our engineer was able to help us with grants, and one of them was for our public buildings. Do you remember what the email I'm mentioning about, Karen? There was an attachment that gave a list of what they would be willing to help us out for grants, and one of them was for public buildings, and even Tony was like, well, why don't we just maybe try to aim for that grant, so then we can use LSA and CDBG for things like the roads.
You can only use so much for roads.
Well, I get that,
CDBG,
but I
yeah.
get that, but for like the properties that we have issues with, there was, I can look at the email,
Yeah.
I can find it,
Okay.
but.
Circulate around, let's look
But
at
I
them.
think it was, Mayor, if I was correct, I think maybe you might have sent it out, you gave out a list of what our engineers were able to help us do.
LSA was one of them. CDBG was another one. There may be some others.
Give me a minute, I don't mean to hold everybody up, but I thought that. But anyway, I'll find it.
Okay.
I'll find it, yeah.
And we can talk about those things as well. But we do need to put together what we want for this year's LSA that comes up to about $35,000 or $40,000, apparently. We did have a meeting yesterday on the CDBG, and it was not a lot of public participation. Hopefully we'll figure out ways to improve that next time. Explain to me what you're talking about with the utilization of lice work for the Shade Tree Commission. What?
Yeah, they would like to utilize, Life's work, and it would be through the Shade Tree Commission and Mark Valor to do some watering projects at Eastgate and at Madison Park. So what, we requested the solicitor, and we are gonna utilize a waiver that we have done in the past, to do that work. And that's being circulated and signed now by Mr. Valor and the Life Sports folks. Looks like in the next few days they'd like to do the projects, maybe over the weekend or into next week. And it will utilize their residents and folks that utilize their programs on a daily basis to help with that.
And they have the proper supervision?
I apologize, I don't mean to go back, but I found the email.
Okay.
Okay.
It's for the Community Facilities Direct Loan and Grant, which is underneath the rolling grant. And it's not LSA.
Okay.
Okay.
And RVI, or RVE is the one that sent out the email.
Okay.
It was under their cover?
Yeah, and it was called the rolling grant,
Okay.
and the name of it was,
Aaron's on vacation right now, he'll be back next week, we can get
Yeah,
get after him.
community facilities direct loan and grant. And that's where it would, well, that's the thing, is the match requires between 85 to 25 though.
Mhm.
But improvement to public facilities such as town halls, libraries, fire departments, and police stations.
Okay.
So that's what I was saying, we could maybe try to have, we're supposed to get that freebie, maybe have them go for that, and we use LSA grant for something else.
We
Like
have to
roads,
match those
like,
grants
like,
somehow,
like
somehow,
roads or
yeah.
something of that nature.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm losing my voice.
No problem. Good idea, I like it. Thank you.
Life's Work helped us a couple years ago when we planted those trees at the boat launch.
Did that work out well?
They like doing it.
Mhm.
Did it help us out a lot?
They liked helping us.
Okay.
I think they have a van, well, they walked over there because their facility is
So
right
close,
around
yeah.
there, and they helped before. I know they like doing projects like that.
Well, it's good for them, I hope it's good for us as well.
Mhm.
We talked a little bit about the COG already in my opening remarks. Does anybody wanna talk any more about that?
No, Mayor.
Discussion of upcoming police pension board meetings. Now, we are in the process yeah, there is a police pension board meeting that we will have coming up, yes. I'm not sure there's much to discuss about that, but we do need to have that. We talked about the city clerk vacancy. One thing that I will point out is that we've got 3 people that have showed interest in coming to work for the city. One of them, I believe, was in the south part of Pittsburgh,
Mhm.
and she wanted $60,000 to come to work here, which is more than we're paying. The other one wanted $55,000. She was a little bit closer. And there's a third one that we just found out yesterday, and it's kinda interesting, 'cause I took it to Linda and I said, do you know this person? And she said, yes, she's my next door neighbor. So there's one that's local here that
Yeah.
may be a good person, and her resume's pretty good. I would like to suggest that we do need to have an interview process as fast as we can possibly do one. And depending on what your schedule is, I would like to get one scheduled for early next week, as at the first opportunity that at least 2 of you can attend.
Yeah, I don't have my calendar here.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm not available Thursday and Friday of next week.
What about Monday or Tuesday?
I should be available, yes. Yep.
So as fast as we can get them to commit to coming in, I'd like to get them to come in and
I'm
get you the interview.
available anytime after 6 o'clock.
Okay, we'll call for something at 6 or 6:30. Huh?
City clerk,
City clerk.
for this particular interview process, but.
Okay.
Okay, we'll contact them and tell them to arrange something after 6 o'clock. The other thing that I wanted to do was, to get council to consider appointing Lloyd Aldridge as the interim code enforcement officer within the city of Menneson. I think he's been working with Marvin long enough, and he's our best shot for getting
Correct,
something.
not to speak for Joey, but I think he's been working with you a lot too for the hearings we have coming up.
He will be.
Yeah,
He
will.
so,
That's
yeah.
primarily why we need him
Him
to.
to be there, okay,
Right.
yeah, so that's fine.
Okay.
I lose my voice.
a thought about city clerk position and the fact that we can't pay a whole lot of money. Maybe we need to think of other ways that we can entice people to stay here other than money. Maybe working from home a day. I'm just thinking, what is important to people today? What would make a young guy like you want to stay in a position? What's most important? Discount money. What else would be important that you would want to be employed by Menneson, other than money? Because we know we can't pay a whole lot. What else is attractive to people today? I'm retired.
You're asking the wrong person, 'cause it's money. That's why I do all the overtime I can get.
But, you talk to people, I mean, what would it be an enticement for them to do?
That's a good
Tough.
question, no, but seriously, that is a good question,
Yeah.
it
Because,
really
uh,
is.
It's tough.
It's a tough one,
We're never gonna be able to compete with bigger cities, but what else can we give them?
I
We
li- I
know
like the
people
thought.
like to work here, we can say that in all confidence, but other than
Well, I
that,
think
what
that
do people want?
You're right, Karen, I think it'd be nice if, that's one of the reasons why our current city clerk is leaving, she's not able to work from home on certain days. And that's something we would have to look into, is like a proper VPN,
Right.
all the IT logistics for it, so it's a secured network. But
Well,
Mhm.
again, that's what the people want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta
But
figure
I
that
mean,
that would be a
seriously.
benefit though,
Yep.
is to work from home. That saves you on gas,
One
that
day a
saves
week.
you, yeah.
I mean, we'd have to really think about,
And the
cause
city,
we can't just leave it open-ended, because,
yeah.
but I just thought, what do people want, other than the money? Well, but we have to look at something to
Yeah.
keep people to stay with us.
Okay, there we go.
We got some of the best benefits
Just
you
a
can
thought.
have.
Yep.
All right, well, let's move on and get some bills taken care of. I'd like to make a motion to pay the following invoices to the general fund in the amount of $38,292.89. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Yeah, aye. Motion to pay the following invoices from the Parks Fund in the amount of $2,874.05. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes. Motion to pay the following invoices from the line usage fund in the amount of $52,380.59. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes. Motion to pay the following invoice from the grant fund in the amount of $11,250.28. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Second.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye, sorry.
Yes.
Tissues down
Motion to pay the following invoice from the liquid fuels fund in the amount of $14,233.70. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes. Motion to pay the following invoices from the recreation fund in the amount of $988.25. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye. Motion to approve the transfer of $70,927.68 from the general fund to the payroll account for payroll expenses for July 31st payroll. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye. Motion to approve the transfer of $76,877.29 from the general fund to the payroll account for payroll expenses for the August 14th, 2025 payroll. Could I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye. With 3 weeks in between, we had 2 pay periods that occurred in that period. Motion to approve the sewer rehabilitation project number 3, payment requisition and certificate number 34 in the amount of $295,114.86 for Phase 3 work performed by WEC Engineers, Inc. from June 28th, 2025 through August 2025 in the amount of $36,946.60 and an invoice from Insight Pipe Contracting LLC for work performed from June 1st, 2025 to July 23rd, 2025 in the amount of $258,168.26. Could I have a second?
Second.
Let me just clarify this. We've got numbers here that if you add the two together, they come up with a third. So it's not that we're spending $300,000 twice. We're spending it at one time. Just for clarity. Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye. Motion to approve resolution number 8 of 2025, a resolution of council in the city of Menneson, county of Westmoreland, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, approving and authorizing the modification of the FY 2024 Community Development Block Grant, CDBG application. Could I have a second?
Second.
Let me explain this too. This is something that we did a long time ago, but we never did it as properly with a resolution, so this was putting us at risk. Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Mayor Mosher.
Aye. Discussion or to approve fire escrow payments for 425 Reed Avenue with payments made to the vendor All Day Services of Ross River Fay West, $8,198.67, and the owner of the property, Illing,
Illig.
$7,207.31, and $100 to K2 Engineering, paid out of the owner vendor proceeds for inspection and approval of the fire escrow payments on behalf of the city. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Mayor motion.
Aye. Motion to approve the purchase of the Kubota tractor model B2601 HSD-1 four-wheel drive and 60-inch deck from Murphy Family Inc. for the price of $19,200. Can I have a second?
Second.
Any questions?
Is this the one with the warranty, right? They all had
They
warranties.
all
Warranties.
are
All right.
apples to apples.
Oh, all right.
Everything's the same, and they're the best price. Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Mayor motion.
Aye. Does anybody have the streets and public improvements?
They were gonna defer till
Okay.
the end meeting.
John, your turn then.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Mayor, members of council, administrative staff, citizens of Menneson, I will go ahead and defer my report until the next council meeting. I do want to discuss the road safety and related issues between Leeds Avenue and Grant Avenue. I've been getting more and more complaints now of the vehicle there parked there on Leeds. I'm having issues though with even safety vehicles going through that area and being afraid of either they're going to hit a vehicle or a vehicle is going to come the other side and hit them. Again, we spoke about this before, but I really feel that we will need to make a motion. I believe there should be a yellow line painted on that side of the road. It's becoming.
Well,
We
it's
can't
not,
find
it's on their
we
side.
can't find any ordinance or anything, so
Mhm.
we got to go through the proper channels, and I believe there should be an ordinance put up for that section of Leeds.
Chief, do you have any comments to make on that? We went out there and looked at it for quite a bit.
The only thing that I can think of is, that gentleman that, there with that truck, correct me if I'm wrong, lives there, but he has no other parking around back. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's no parking out back, but I mean, I myself, when looking around the streets after our council meeting, we talked about like getting Leeds paved in that nature. When I decided to go take a ride up there, I almost got hit. And this isn't Leeds. This is between Leeds and Grant. This is Summit that we're talking about. This is Summit Avenue that we're talking about. That where
Little
that
dog
gentleman
leg.
has that car parked.
No, well, right in the
Anyway,
bend on
though,
Summit.
I think there should be a line painted there. There's parking across the street, but I mean, we could go ahead and discuss, but I don't know how council feels, but
My only concern is that, I don't wanna take a person's ability to have a vehicle at their house. If there's a place to park across the street, or we can find another place for them to park, I'm all for it, because I do know what the problem is. I do think that there are numerous very difficult, dangerous places in the city. Another one's coming down 12th Street right now, or, excuse me, 9th Street.
9th Street.
And you're coming down 9th Street from upward, come to a stop sign. We need to put a stop sign on the lower as well, where both come to stop, I do believe. It's just dangerous.
Yeah.
But there's many dangerous places like that. If you're coming up 6th Street and you come to that hill and you're gonna turn left to Crest, it's dangerous because of the terrain of the road. You can't see cars coming in.
Correct me if I'm wrong though too, but on 9th Street, if you're crossing a lane, you're supposed to stop and yield for the traffic that's oncoming to you.
I understand.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, we could put a stop sign there. I mean,
I'm just saying that there's a lot of very, very dangerous places in the city of Menneson.
yeah.
And people that have been here must understand it, because we have not had just a phenomenal amount of accidents there, but we do need to address these things where we can.
I think though after the meeting, I'll drive up past Summit. I believe there's ample parking. I mean, the Crow Club's been closed for quite a while. No, we're talking about the alright, Linda, thank you. As much as we go forward, I'll move on to my next one, and it's again about the parking downtown. I've been, again, stopped and brought to my attention again that we're kinda dragging our feet about parking.
I don't know that we're
Felicia.
dragging our feet, I just don't have a solution.
I understand that, but I thought maybe we were talking about that corner section where the, land bank owns, that they tore down that property.
The motel,
Yeah.
from what I understand, it'll only park about 4 cars
Only
there.
park, yeah, and that, what about so does anybody own the garage, the maintenance garage, where they have billboard signs that are falling down there, right next to Felicia's?
I'm sure somebody owns it, I don't know who it is though. I think we looked at that and said that that might be a good place if we could get the land bank to get that property through
I think
judicial
the only
process.
thing you probably have to worry about is just debris and materials falling off from Parkway, if their vehicles were parked there. Just how to keep that wall from subsiding.
Right.
But I wanna again just bring up the attention, because I don't want folks out there to think it's on deaf ears, you know.
It's not on deaf ears, I just don't have a
Yeah.
solution.
The next thing is, it was brought to my attention that the loading zone for safety near the 3rd Street intersection, just to provide a location for couriers to drop off and pick up, packages there at the Mon Valley Phone Repair Shop there.
Have you
This parking, I would suggest that it would be at the corner there on Schoonmaker, and it'd be about two parking spots or 3 probably possible, just as like we did for the gentleman there on Donner. We having issues with UPS and FedEx drivers parking, and our consumers coming in picking up equipment and then parking right on Schoonmaker. And it's not creating a safe environment. So I would just like to have a motion at our next meeting to create a loading zone there.
Have you
And
talked to Turkovich about this?
Actually, he's also the one that's brought up this information to me, and also the nearby merchants.
I've seen the UPS truck pull into that parking lot that's where the
Yeah,
building was many times.
Yeah, but it's hit or miss. So to have there's not a lot of businesses there that's on that corner besides his. He also is the one that has the apartment above. There's nothing going on next door that, they're still fixing on that property that's adjacent to his, but it's becoming an issue where, you know, the courier's trying to find a safe spot to park. This also goes for just other vendors dropping off, you know, food or whatever too, the nearby restaurants. Anyway, we're talking about the phone repair place. Again, thank you but anyway, Mayor, I would feel that I'm gonna have a motion to be put on the agenda for a loading zone. We'll see if it passes.
Okay.
Going back to C, is that something the stamp program can look at, parking?
Very much so.
I mean, 'cause it is an ongoing problem, and we need to do it for,
Absolutely.
so I'm thinking of projects they could work on, that would definitely be,
I think
they should have the
the
expertise and.
the
come up
county
with a plan.
land bank could help us out a lot too, through acquisition of properties.
There's parking there. It's just a parking spot. There's parking spots. There's 2 parking spots that we wanted to turn into a loading zone.
That would be a wonderful.
And it's in the corner.
Yeah, we're probably have to amend an ordinance.
Is this something we can have done by our next meeting?
No, we can have an ordinance, but it takes,
2 readings to
2
do
readings,
it. I
yeah.
know, but
we can
start
get
to
it
get
started.
start to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I'll talk to Turkovich too. Okay? Karen, do you have anything you'd like to talk about?
I don't.
All right, wait, are you finished?
Oh, yes, Mayor, I yield the floor. Thank you.
All right, I don't have my regular report, I'll defer that for the end of the month. But as far as the shower facility at Hilltop Fire Department, I did contact 3 plumbers. we had gotten a quote, a few months ago from a plumber who was not on our list of certified plumbers. I did get back to him with what he had to do to get on the list, but from what he said that he would do, I typed that out and I gave it to 2 other plumbers, so again, they give us quotes. I learned my lesson, apples to apples comparison of that, so that maybe we can get this done for these guys in a timely manner, and just get that in there so that, they'll have a shower for themselves. And then for B, I had gotten a call last week from Amy Barfield, who's involved with the Nehemiah project, and she and Linda Carson at the Civic Center talk a lot, and she said that the Nehemiah project wants to have, fundraisers for the purpose of replacing those signs that are on the Civic Center, the one that faces Donner, then the one that faces the parking lot, because both of them are old and ugly and everything. She didn't have any thought as to what those signs would look like, and she said, well, how do I do that? And I said, I really don't know. If an outside organization has a fundraiser that they've earmarked for a project for us, would it be like a donation like we get with the Shade Tree Commission? Or I said, we need to meet and decide what kind of signs, because I know there's a little manual up in my office, and it's about that thick with signs and everything, like all these regulations for signs and everything. And I didn't know what the city would be. I hate to discourage anyone when they say, oh, I'll have a fundraiser for you. I never wanna say no, but we have to have guidelines on who approves the sign, and I just didn't know what to do, so I don't know if anybody has any thoughts. Has this ever been done before? That anybody out there had a fundraiser to purchase something for a city-owned building? That would be sort of permanent
Yeah,
if
'cause
it's a
this
sign.
comes along the lines that Tony was talking about, having another line item for donations. So, I don't know, what would be,
Yeah, I mean, you've accepted donations for your music in the park, kind of
We
a similar
have.
situation.
Just put a donation in here, tag it for the Civic Center.
You wanna make sure it's something compatible that the city's going to be able to operate and maintain.
Right, and a few weeks ago, I had the guy who's in charge of Westmoreland County Parks and Rec, and he went through all the parks between the Civic Center, and he says that when we start putting signs up, we need to sort of, like, having everything cohesive. That no matter whether it's the same color, the same style, he really liked the ones at City Park's main entrance. He said, I noticed every sign you have on every one of your buildings is different. And I thought, you know what, I like things that match, so maybe that's a thought of, we have plans not only for this, but moving forward, other areas that would have signs that they sort of go together. So I don't know, Amy needs to come in and to let us know what the plans are, 'cause I have no clue. I think it's a wonderful plan, but, so that was that, and I wanna remind everybody again that we have our flea market coming up on Saturday in the lot from 9 to 3. I think a few people may show up. I'll be at the Historical Society, I'll be there, so. And also the concert, which is the Mon Valley Push, that's August 24th, that'll be before our next meeting. So spread the word, we'd like to have a huge crowd for that.
That's a polka band, that ought to
That's
be
a
a lot of
polka
fun.
band.
Ought to be lots of fun.
Well, and I think they were just at the Epiphany's, festival, somebody told me. So, if you have dancing shoes, come in polka.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, and I don't think that I have anything else, so thank you for your attention.
Very good. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
second.
Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.